You know, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome.
I would not be the woman I am if I did not go home to that man.
What if the most powerful couple in music wasn't as unbreakable as we were led to believe? For years, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have controlled the narrative. Flawless images, perfect performances, and carefully timed public appearances. But now, 50 Cent is pulling back the curtain, hinting at disturbing red flags, industry secrets, and a marriage under extreme pressure. From explosive past encounters to shocking allegations about what's coming next, this story isn't about rumors. It's about patterns, power, and what happens when silence can no longer protect the truth. Jay-Z and Beyoncé have long been presented as the gold standard of celebrity relationships. Their marriage symbolized success, discipline, and unity in an industry known for instability. From sold-out stadium tours to billion-dollar business ventures, they were marketed as two empires moving in perfect synchronization. But behind that image was a carefully controlled narrative. Public appearances were minimal, interviews were calculated, and personal struggles were rarely addressed unless strategically released through music. This level of control helped preserve their brand, but also create an environment where questions were discouraged and skepticism was treated as betrayal by fans. 50 Cent is not an outsider throwing random accusations. He is a veteran of the same system, with first-hand experience navigating power structures in music, television, and corporate partnerships. Over the years, he has repeatedly hinted that certain figures receive protection others do not. His comments about Jay-Z have often been indirect but consistent, suggesting resentment, unresolved tension, and distrust. According to 50, influence within the industry determines whose mistakes become scandals and whose disappear quietly. This context is essential when examining why his recent statements drew so much attention. One of the most discussed stories comes from 50 Cent's recollection of a confrontation in Las Vegas during Jay-Z and Beyoncé's early relationship. In a public interview, 50 claimed Beyoncé physically reacted when she believed Jay-Z was being confronted. He described her allegedly jumping down from a ledge, prepared to fight, catching him completely off guard. While this incident occurred years before their marriage, critics argue it reveals early signs of intensity, defensiveness, and volatility. Whether interpreted as loyalty or aggression, the moment remains unsettling due to how unexpected and extreme it appeared. Jay-Z and Beyoncé's age gap has always been publicly known, but rarely critically examined. Jay-Z is 12 years older and first met Beyoncé when she was 18. Beyoncé herself later stated that she did not begin dating him seriously until she was 19 and made a personal rule not to marry before 25. They eventually married when she was 26. While legal and consensual, the timeline has raised questions about power imbalance, influence, and emotional development. Critics argue that relationships formed at such different life stages often create unequal dynamics that resurface later under stress. In 2016, Beyoncé released Lemonade, an album that changed the public perception of her marriage overnight. The project openly explored betrayal, rage, humiliation, and forgiveness. Songs like Sorry and Hold Up reference infidelity so directly that fans immediately connected the narrative to Jay-Z. Lyrics mentioning Becky with the good hair fueled widespread speculation, while the visuals portrayed destruction, grief, and confrontation. Although Beyoncé never named Jay-Z explicitly, the album functioned as a public reckoning, forcing audiences to acknowledge that the marriage was deeply fractured. Jay-Z later confirmed suspicions through his 2017 album 444. In the title track, he admitted to cheating and expressed shame over nearly destroying his family. He referenced therapy, emotional shutdown, and the inability to connect due to unresolved trauma. In interviews, Jay-Z explained that his upbringing placed him in survival mode, suppressing vulnerability and empathy. While many praised his honesty, others viewed the confession as controlled damage control. Admitting infidelity on his own terms allowed him to frame the narrative while maintaining public sympathy. Following the release of Lemonade and 444, Jay-Z and Beyoncé presented a united front. They toured together, released a joint album, and made carefully timed public appearances. From a branding perspective, reconciliation was profitable. Fans celebrated forgiveness and growth, while critics questioned whether emotional healing had truly occurred. Some industry observers argue that separation at that moment would have disrupted too many business interests. When marriages become corporate entities, decisions are rarely made based solely on personal fulfillment. 50 Cent has repeatedly suggested that certain industry figures are not immune to exposure forever. He has compared patterns of silence, protection, and eventual collapse, hinting that public accountability often comes in cycles. Without making direct legal accusations, he implied that Jay-Z's past associations, behaviors, and influence may eventually face scrutiny. According to 50, public humiliation often follows when protection is withdrawn. His statements were framed as predictions rather than threats, but the implication was clear enough to unsettle fans and observers alike. Throughout these controversies, Beyoncé has largely remained silent outside of her art. Her interviews avoid direct discussion of her marriage, focusing instead on creativity, motherhood, and legacy. Some interpret this silence as strength and discipline. Others view it as strategic detachment. Body language analysts and fans have speculated about her demeanor during recent award appearances, noting moments where she appeared distant or disengaged. While such interpretations are subjective, they contribute to ongoing speculation about the emotional state of the marriage. Jay-Z once publicly stated that Beyoncé loves her work deeply, a comment that sparked debate. Beyoncé has been working professionally since childhood and is widely regarded as a perfectionist. Critics argue that constant touring, filming, and brand expansion leave little space for emotional repair. When two individuals operate at the highest level of ambition, intimacy can become secondary to productivity. The marriage may have survived betrayal, but survival does not necessarily equal peace. A divorce between Jay-Z and Beyoncé would be more than a personal matter. It would disrupt business partnerships, branding strategies, and cultural narratives built over decades. Comparisons to other high-profile separations highlight how public reception shifts rapidly once silence is broken. Industry insiders suggest that such a split would dominate headlines for months, if not years. The financial implications alone would be historic, but the symbolic impact on fans who viewed their marriage as aspirational would be even greater. When viewed collectively, the red flags are difficult to dismiss. Early confrontations, power imbalances, public confessions, artistic exposure, and insider warnings form a pattern rather than isolated incidents. While none of these elements independently confirm collapse, together they paint a picture of a relationship under constant pressure. 50 Cent's commentary resonates because it aligns with events the public has already witnessed. Whether the marriage endures or not, the illusion of perfection has permanently fractured. 50 Cent didn't accuse, he warned. And in an industry where power decides who speaks and who stays silent, warnings are never random. Whether Jay-Z and Beyoncé survive the storm or become the most shocking breakup in entertainment history, one thing is clear. The cracks have been visible for years. The question isn't if the truth comes out, it's when. And when it does, the entire industry may have an answer for what it protected.